Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned in to a live tarot throw. Today is September 8th, 2025. As promised in the description, I'm going to throw 5 cards for everyone right now. It's a 5-day work week. Normally, I like to throw cards and tell a story, but this time I'm going to invite the tarot world to offer us a card for each of the 5 days of the week. I see we have some friends already in the chat. I want to say thank you so much for participating and joining us. I also want to say I'm so grateful to all the subscribers. Thank you so much, subscribers. You really motivate me to get some notes together, put on a time, put my face in front of the camera. So thanks a lot, subscribers. You want more Breakaway Ray? You're going to get what you asked for. Let's go to the tarot cam and get 5 cards for you. All right. So we're going to invite the tarot world to offer us a card for each of the days of the week. And let's get shuffling. The tarot world has been working very carefully and cooperatively with us. I'm all excited about that. And we want to thank the tarot world for all of its wonderful messages, for all of us as a group, for all the viewers whenever they're viewing. And then there are a lot of people who got individual readings and felt that they received positive, helpful messages, fun messages. And I'm really grateful to have sent them to you. You're so welcome. Okay. But, oh my goodness. No, that's not 5 cards. That's not what we meant. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. So let's get back to the shuffling here. Hey, Tarot World, could you please show us 5 cards, 1 card for each day of the work week? Thank you very much. Could we please have 5 cards, a card each, for each day in the work week? I'm sure you have some special insight and messages for all of us watching right now, whenever we're watching. And that's why you want to share 5 cards for us. A card each for each day of the work week, please. Ooh. What is going on? Okay, what am I? I skipped a day and I'm out of practice here. Let me get back to the shuffling. 5 cards, please. 1 for each day of the week. Here we go. Monday. Tuesday. I'm really getting some jiggle. I'm sorry about that. I might have to pause and tape down the camera. Wednesday. Thursday, and the last card of the week, right from the bottom of the deck, for the last day of the week. All right, this is for entertainment purposes only, and if you're tuning in to STARCARD Podcast again, chances are you're as entertained as I am. Here we go for Monday. Today, the tarot world says it's already time to celebrate. I think we should be celebrating the gift of life, that we get to get up in the morning and see our loved ones and friends and breathe the air and enjoy a meal and do whatever it is that makes us happy. I know it's Monday. We got a long way to go, and we can look at it all like it's a party, and we want to try everything. It's like an amusement park. We want to go on all the rides this week. So nice contrast there, Tarot World. Starting out a Monday with the 3 of Cups. Let's celebrate and dance and be grateful. Great. Tomorrow, Tuesday, please. Oh, well, there's the conflict. Let's read what it says on the 5 of Wands here. Competition, rivalry, conflict, disagreements, strife, and tension. Yeah, that's all part of the fun that we're here for. Whoa, sorry about that. I need to check my camera real quick. Whoa. One moment, please. All right, that's better. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so anyway, we can expect competition and things like that throughout the week and every day. Every time we encounter a situation like that, and it challenges us to evaluate our emotions and how we respond instead of reacting. Okay? That's what we're doing here on planet Earth, as far as I can tell. So it's like a blessing to receive these little challenges and even the big challenges, because that's what helps us grow spiritually. I know a lot of us, you know, the reason why we go to work is to expand and grow financially, perhaps. But for real, I think, my opinion, you can believe whatever you like. Before we came to Earth, we had the goal of growing spiritually, not necessarily financially. Let's go to Wednesday. Wow. There's the death card, which indicates endings, beginnings, and transformation on Wednesday, which we nickname here in the United States Hump Day. It's like in the middle of the week there, like a camel's hump. Let's see what it says on the death card about Wednesday. Endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of a cycle. It feels like the cards are all out of order in some ways, but on Wednesday, perhaps there's some kind of ending or beginning going on. Let's see what happens on Thursday. Well, on Thursday, I think we're recovering from the 5 of Wands, guys. It's the 9 of Wands guy. And I'll read what it says on the card, but then I'll tell you my take on the 9 of Wands guy. 9 of Wands, courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries. I think I could pretty much stop right there. We start off the week maybe naively celebrating, but certainly filled with gratitude. We encounter other people, other beings, and not everybody's reality agrees. There's going to be a big change as we reevaluate what's going on and try to move forward positively. And then after all that, we're the 9 of Wands guy, and we're going to keep on showing courage. We're not going to let this one little Tuesday get us down. Now we're wiser, we're smarter, we have more tools, we're better managers. So yeah, Thursday looks like we're accruing some wisdom from our experience throughout the week. And then on Friday, yay. Phew, I can't tell you how relieved I am. It's the Justice card. And the Justice card reads, justice, fairness, truth, clarity, equality, balance, cause and effect, and law. It feels to me like a real prize. It feels to me like, how do I put this? It's, you're working towards being in the chair like the character is sitting on the Justice card. But also it's like a real gift. Sometimes on birthdays and stuff, you're unwrapping gifts and, maybe you're not getting all the things you want, but somebody gave you some justice. And it's something that you earned, like you built up a relationship with the person, and that person eventually remembered you on your birthday and gave you that gift or that helpful message. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, those are 5 cards for your 5-day work week. I hope that was entertaining and informative. And if it's accurate, that's gravy, right? That's an extra good part for me. Again, I'm a little bit spooked by my jiggling camera. One moment, please, while I give these cards a shuffle. And we're going to go back up top to the face cam. 1 second, please. Wow. Yeah, again, what am I, rusty after one day? Whoa. All right. Thank you. Let me get some tape here. That's better. Okay, less jiggling, please. Thank you. Hey, thanks for being patient, everybody. So I have a correction to make. I think last time out, I was talking about 2 writers, Charles Dickens and James Joyce. They wrote in the English language. And I didn't want to be confusing at the time. And so I said, let's move from Joyce and Dickens, and I called them British writers, because I didn't want to say English writers because James Joyce is Irish. But then I need to correct myself right now, because I'm the kind of guy that would correct this. James Joyce was not British, he was Irish. You may be aware that the island of Ireland is separated to 2 countries. There's the country of Ireland down below, and then up top, on top of the island, is that part of Ireland that belongs to Great Britain. So in any case, Joyce and Dickens wrote in English, and then we moved to the Italian writer Italo Calvino. All right, I got that part out of the way. That's good. So now, let me see. I think I have some other notes. Oh, you probably already saw in the description or in the chat, there's probably not going to be a show on Wednesday. I know that there's some people who like catching me in the morning, and I don't want to get your hopes up. There may not be a show on Wednesday. Let me see if there's some other notes here I have to check over. Okay, I know what that is. All right. Well, I think I'm ready to start my my show where I share with you what's on my mind, and I go so far as to organize it on a piece of paper. And sometimes I get so industrious that I write notes all over the place. So I know you'll forgive me. I wrote a lot of notes. They're a little bit scattered, but I think you're going to appreciate my perspective on some things. So the first thing I want to start with is this the one? Yeah. So I don't know which writer I'm quoting or paraphrasing here, but one of the things we talked about last time was writing as a way to get in touch with your higher self. And so I wanted to share with you this quote that I remember. I don't know, again, I don't know which writer said it. I don't know how closely I'm quoting it. I'm certainly paraphrasing. Here I go. How do I know what I'm thinking until I write and see what I say? I'll repeat it for you. How do I know what I'm thinking until I write and see what I say? So that's going to be the theme today. One of my goals, obviously, is to encourage people to get in touch with their higher self and get in touch with the world, the spirit world around them, and to use it to your advantage and the advantage of everyone else at the same time. We have to float everyone's boat. We're all in this together. It's a collective consciousness, right? And one of the ways that you can do that, one of the ways is through writing. And there are, of course, other ways, whether you're an artist or whether you're practicing your psychic skills and exploring it directly. If you're watching STARCARD podcast, you probably got some magic going on. And I say, good for you, go for it. But now, maybe you remember last time when we threw the cards, I was playing the good cop to the tarot world's bad cop. Let me explain what I mean. Let me go to the tarot cam and bust out some cards from last time. There we go. All right. So last time, we started off with one card to start off the show. And you see, I'm not using the classic tarot deck for this. I pulled these out of my stained glass deck. I love the art, but it's not. Obviously, the pictures are a little bit different. Let me see if this light helps you see the cards better. All right, we're not getting any glare. Good. Okay, so we started off. The opener was the Nine of Swords. And if you're familiar with tarot or you've been watching the show, you know that the Nine of Swords represents anxiety and sleeplessness and a real concern. And that sounded like an odd thing for the tarot world to start off our conversation with. I thought maybe they were teasing me because I'm a little bit of an insomniac and I'm waking up at all weird hours to turn on the camera, right? But no, I've had time to reflect, and I think that the Nine of Swords indicates that the tarot world is concerned. The tarot world is concerned about what we were going to talk about on our last podcast. And then after the Nine of Swords, we got into this conversation. I wanted to see if the tarot world wanted to make a clear distinction between writing with pen and a paper or writing with a program on the computer or some kind of software where you're paying to write. And then look at the cards that we got for working on the computer. And let's remember some of the disadvantages that Breakaway Ray mentioned, like if you're working on the computer, if the electricity goes down, you're out of luck, okay? If you're sharing, if you're journaling and you're creating a diary, for example, on the computer, guess what? Not only are there intelligences that are artificial monitoring you, but just about anyone can. Don't want to get into it now. If you're watching STARCARD podcast, you probably know what I'm talking about. There's no real private thoughts when you're on the internet there, okay? So I think that was pretty much, my main thing was I didn't want people to I want people to be able to separate their thoughts, because when we get into the age of Aquarius and there's all this thrust towards Neuralink and in managing not only your own thoughts and emotions, but also whatever being transmitted to your brain. Can I say voice to skull technology? I haven't even introduced that stuff yet. But anyway, I thought it was bad news. And then the tarot cards seemed to agree with me. And they threw the Eight of Wands. Yeah, the Eight of Wands, which means that soon, and then they just threw the world card, which suggests all kinds of things, but if you just make a sentence out of it, pretty soon, the whole world is going to be ambushed by something hidden. And then came the, oh, whoops, that's my hidden card. The 7 of Swords was something hidden. And then came the 5 of Pentacles. And then remember, I was like trying to turn it all into a positive. I was turning it upside down any way I could, because this seemed like a strong message. This seemed like the message I wanted to send. I didn't expect the tarot world to take such an angle. But nevertheless, the last words on the card, on the classic deck, were spiritual poverty. Spiritual poverty. If we're going to rely on getting in touch with our higher selves and our creativity just by writing on the computer, we shall experience spiritual poverty. We won't be allowed to think much on our own, without somebody snooping and keeping an eye on us. And I would like to refer everyone to George Orwell's book, 1984. He wasn't that far off. And then I would also say, I would encourage you to take a look at Psychic Liz Cross's interview and mind probe of George Orwell. You can actually look it up, Psychic Liz Cross and George Orwell, because she speaks to Mr. Orwell in the afterlife, and he describes what's coming at us. I believe I've actually done a video on this. It might be somewhere on STARCARD podcast. So I wanted to explore this further. So I'm going to take my stained glass deck, move it. Okay, I've got a different way to shape the conversation. Let me get some of my other notes out here. Okay, so I'm going to go back up top here so I can talk to you about my notes. Here we go. Great. Okay, so remember last time we talked about pen and paper versus quote unquote paying to write. And, this is like the same pattern over and over again. And I want to start off by shaking my fist at Thomas Edison. He's one of the guys who kind of demonstrated how it's done. Okay, remember, energy was free. Energy is free on planet Earth, but they had to reorganize society so that, we could pay for the electricity, enrich some, while others have to work in very much like a wage slave situation, just to keep us busy and occupied so that we don't expand our imaginations and our consciousness. So we could start with electricity. That's already been done to us. Hey, you know what else? Email is virtually free. It takes, it costs fractions of a penny to send email. So that's like another thing I object to, where we have to pay in order to communicate via email. And if you don't, good luck communicating to anyone, right? Here's another situation that vexed me when I entered the workforce. I think I was 17. I worked at a certain fast food restaurant, not going to name it, but I used to talk about it all the time when I was in the classroom with children. Anyway, when I got that job at that fast food place, they pointed out to me that I would be working for so much an hour, but the very first couple of hours, I was basically working to pay for my uniform. So I had to work to pay for the clothes that I could work in. All right, let's continue. What about the trolleys? No, this is the part where some people are all excited to hear, Breakaway Ray, go back in time. Okay, he's supposed to be about up in space, secret space program. But wait, we got two things going on. We don't see what's in the future. They're hiding it from us. And also they've been covering up stuff, okay? So the trolleys, we had trolley systems all over North America. I'm not going to discuss who built them. Pretty sure it wasn't us, okay? And these trolleys, you could take from city to city and they were free. Energy was free. We used to have airships. Everyone immediately thinks of the Hindenburg and what a disaster that was. I'm sorry, the research I'm seeing is the airships were prolific. They were all over the place. They were safe. Our society was much different. And do I need to mention the architecture again? Something's going on. We used to be able to build buildings like that. And if we tried to do that today, it would like sink the economy of a country to try to build heavy stone masonry buildings like that, which leads me to the next thing. You can see I'm getting all excited, right? Okay. What's the deal? I thought that when Europeans came to the eastern seaboard of what we call the United States, okay, they had like nothing but open space in front of them, not already erected, built cities, okay? I spent 33 years trying to tell children that most Native Americans live pretty much with nature out in the open. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that because those buildings were all over the place. Anyway, not to get too far into it, I wonder if there's any other technology I've left off here. Well, let me just check my notes real quick. Okay, so I think I've covered just about everything, but that's like the deal. Like they're setting it up so that they're going to skim off the top. Some people who have like an eye on bankers, okay, I should say banking institutions, right? They manage the money, and every time they touch the money, they take a little cut. I'm talking about banking institutions. There is a state in the United States, I think it's South Dakota, and they have a truly public bank. There's nothing private about it, and they don't make money. And that's the way I think banks should be across the United States. But of course, it's never going to happen. There's too many forces with money that are preventing that from happening, right? You're not going to take away our way of skimming off the top. But I encourage people to look into that. That's a great way. It's probably a system we're going to have to use. The reason why I'm sharing all this is not to get down and say, look at all the things they've taken away from us. I'm trying to say, we need to pay attention. There's a lot of stuff we don't know. We can look around, and if we all think about it as a collective conscious, then it's going to show up more, and then we'll be able to address it more. And, my job is to keep these things on the table. We have changes coming, and we can affect change in a positive way. So I was thinking to myself, if I was back in the classroom right now, teaching would definitely be different, especially if I was teaching English, for example, to secondary students, students between the ages of 12 and 18, right? Their last years of school, public school in the United States. Because I would have to have an artificial intelligence as my right-hand man if I am the teacher, and I need my tool to outwit the tools of 200 children who are also using intelligences that are artificial to help them write their papers. It just sounds like dueling intelligences minus my intelligence and the intelligence of the children. And I can say this because I remember in the days when I went to school before computers were publicly known, right? Before artificial intelligence was supposedly recognized, okay? It was just some idea, for example, in, the author Arthur C. Clarke's mind. He wrote 2001: A Space Odyssey. So in any case, in the olden days, you had a big major paper you had to write, like in 11th grade and in 12th grade. I forget what we used to call it, but you had to take a writer, and then you had to read the books. Then you had to look up criticism. You had to go to the library. You had to track down criticism, and then you had to analyze the criticism and apply it to what you just read, and then somehow cohesively combine it all in some ideas that your teacher could follow along with when the teacher read it. Okay. So as soon as I actually had this conversation with my principal a couple years ago, when intelligences that are artificial were in a more pronounced way assisting students. It was like a big changeover. And I told her, I said, that's the end of public education, because why do all that work? Why exercise your brain? Why use your full intellectual capacity when you don't have to? You can say, hey, intellectual assistant over there, can you look these things up for me? And can you do this for me? And can you make a suggestion about how I can write it? So I'm not saying that we should avoid these tools. I'm saying we need to manage them responsibly. We're not going to get away from them. We don't have to, we don't have to set the clock back and go back to the Stone Age. That's already been done for us. Okay. But let's get a hold of our own minds, our own brains. Let's fight the mind control. So this way we can discern things better and make life better for all of us here. I want to check my notes now, make sure I'm not missing any of my golden thoughts here. Oh yeah, it's the Disney model. So, all right, you heard the name of the company I just said. I just want to say, that they do have their main office, I think, down here in Southern California. And I know from what I heard, if you're a creative person, whether you're a writer, a musician, or a cartoonist, an illustrator, and you actually invent or create something while working at that company, that idea does not belong to you. It belongs to the company. Which leads me to President Eisenhower, believe it or not. I know most people in the audience right now probably remember President Eisenhower's farewell speech, where he warned us all to, beware of the military-industrial complex. And what he's basically saying, in my point of view, along the lines of the topic that we're talking about this morning, he's talking about fascism. Fascism is when corporations own the state. And so we have, military corporations, other kinds of corporations, and with the new Citizens United decision in the Supreme Court, well, that was a few years ago, where corporations can be people. And then on top of that, people can there's no limit to your donations, for example. These corporations are certainly more powerful than, the standard citizen in the United States who's trying to make a dollar and thinks that voting is going to help and influence things. I would say voting is important. I will also concede that throughout my life, I haven't always voted, but I always vote now. Nevertheless, voting is important, but how about consciousness? We could pool our ideas on social media, and we could talk about these things, and then when we turn on the network news, this is like irrelevant. It means nothing, okay? What's really going on, we're addressing on social media with our friends and our contacts there. I want to check my notes real quick. Okay, so I think I pretty much addressed the topic. So now let me show you what I got planned for myself on this topic, and then we'll check the chat, say hi to everybody, and see who wants a reading if anyone wants one. All right, so I'm refining my argument a little bit. We talked about paying to write using a software on the computer, and let me go down to the tarot cam here. Okay, so we talked about paying to write last time, but we should, or I should, distinguish a little bit. I don't have a problem using that word program, that word processing program. I don't have a problem if it's helping me to publish. I could be cool with that, okay? But I'm also going to keep on using a pen and notebook so that I can think independently and think on my own. And so I would like to ask the tarot world if the tarot world has a comment on paying to publish, which sounds reasonable to me. Let's face it, these computer tools, these software programs offer us tools that make our writing, appealing to the reader. I mean, they do things that we could never do before. I just published a book last week, all by myself. I didn't have to send it to a bunch of publishing warehouses, right? And I already have people purchasing the book, and I'm so grateful. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. So anyway, does the tarot world have an opinion on paying to publish and then also paying to think? I mean, again, what could the tarot world suggest? Yeah, you got a couple extra bucks every month, you want to pay for it, you could pay to think. Don't be too worried about, I'm just pretending now, don't be too worried about, being snooped upon and being influenced, okay? I'm just, again, playing devil's advocate here. Let's throw the cards and see what the tarot world has to say on these topics. Okay. I think we're doing all right. I hope I wasn't too all over the place. And I want to thank everyone for being patient and trying to follow along with what I'm trying to express. So we'd like to invite the tarot world to offer its opinions on paying to publish, which sounds cool, paying to publish using the tools that software can offer us to immortalize our words and spread the word, versus just getting on the computer and journaling and exploring our higher self because we like to type. There's nothing wrong with typing. So as an aside, for sure, ladies and gentlemen, I'm old enough where I typed not on a computer back in the 1980s. For my 16th birthday, I didn't get a car. I got an electric typewriter. That was a big upgrade for me. The electric typewriter is what was going to take me places, not the car. Anyway, Tarot World, we invite you to comment on paying to publish versus paying to think while using the software on the computer. Paying to publish versus paying to think. Please offer us your opinion, your take, Tarot World. Because I think I hear what you're saying. We need to be concerned about this stuff. It's the whole point of the STARCARD podcast. Let's be enlightened and handle things in an enlightened way. Pay to publish. This is pay to publish using that software. It's awesome. Pay to publish. And this is paying to think. Whoa. Paying to think. Using the software to think. And then, you know what? Let's invite the Tarot World to close the discussion. We'll take 3 more cards, please. You can close the discussion. Thank you, Tarot World. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I know I'm having fun. This is for entertainment purposes only. I click the entertainment box when I publish these videos. All right, first up, pay to publish. Well, the death card, endings, beginnings, transformation, taking your text and transforming it using the software. Ooh, pay to publish. The High Priestess shows up. Let's check it out. Intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. Well, if you're publishing and you're editing, that's a sense of purity, and of course, you're purifying and cleaning up the thoughts that you're presenting, which probably came from your subconscious when you were inspired. This is about using the software to publish. Ooh, the 3 of Wands. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Maybe you've been working on a draft for a long time and you're ready to publish. Okay, for sure. If I may, because I don't know if many people who are viewing have actually published their own books, but I didn't sit on the computer that's connected to the internet to write before I published. I actually have another computer that's offline, and that's where I do my work when I type really fast. But this is about publishing. Yeah. And then, I just kind of described a situation like the 2 of Pentacles here. I talked about having 2 places that I write. One where I publish online, connected to the internet, and then my other so-called secret computer that's not connected. Anyway, if you remember the story about Ernest Hemingway, which we talked about the other day, he would write everything longhand to get his ideas out, and then he would hand it to a secretary to type out. So yeah, when you're publishing, there is editing, and there's redrafting. You do have to balance your drafts with your final product. Okay, so I feel like the Tarot World is with me so far. We're talking about publishing, and it looks like they value the publishing part. These are all inspiring cards regarding publishing using that software. Now, what if you just want to sit on the computer anyway? I know it's connected to the internet, but I still want to think and explore my thoughts. I would say go for it. If that's what you want to do, I think the Tarot World would agree with me. Get in touch with your higher self any way you can, any way you want to, any way you can do it. But nevertheless, what do you think, Tarot World, about paying to think? The Empress showed up. So let's see what it says. Remember, I don't always agree with the Tarot World. Okay, the Empress says abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, action, evolution. Next card. Ooh, 3 Pentacles, teamwork. Oh, I think I know where we're going here. This is paying to think, using the computer to explore your higher self and your subconscious and writing down your ideas that way. Ooh, the Devil just showed up. And the first term on the Devil is the shadow self. And then welcome viewers new to STARCARD podcast. I'd like to point out that on the Devil card, there are 2 people. and they have chains around their neck, and the chains are very loose. They can actually just lift them off and be free. But anyway, the Devil card just showed up while we're talking about pay to think. And then we got the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles indicates wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. So if I could just very quickly say, I think the tarot world is just warning us to be careful. You might be in a good position where you can afford a computer and a subscription to an internet service, and you have the time to go on the computer and use it like a private typewriter. It's a good tool to use. There's teamwork involved. You're using intelligence that's artificial in a positive way, but we all still have to be careful. Both of the ties related to the internet, but also we have to be careful of our, we have to be, and we also have to, well, anyway, we're talking about our shadow self. Anyway, when you're using the pay to think process, it looks like it can still be valuable. It's still worthwhile. I don't think the tarot world cares how you get in touch with your higher self and your psychic abilities, how you expand your consciousness. But for sure, even if you're doing it on the computer and you're typing really fast, you might progress faster than you would writing out longhand. But beware, because whenever and in whichever way you explore your higher self, get ready to meet your shadow self. Get ready to have a dark night of the soul. I'm guessing anyone who's watching this show, certainly if you're in the chat, you know about dark nights of the soul. All right, tarot world, thanks for the fun delineation between paying to publish and the nice warning about paying to think. Okay, you can have the last word, tarot world. The Five of Cups. The Five of Cups indicates disappointment and regret, where we're staring at the mess that's in front of us, but we're not looking behind us. The universe still has everything we need. Okay, and then the Four of Swords says to relax and contemplate. And, oh, look who showed up again. Five of Pentacles. Here you go. The Five of Pentacles, financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity. We need to accentuate the positive and stop looking at the mess. We can reevaluate things, and also we can all relax and take it easy. But yeah, when we turn the Five of Pentacles upside down, it still has the words spiritual poverty, spiritual poverty. We have to be on our guard, okay? You know, if you're just learning about the secret space program right now, or I'm the first person who ever told you that, you know, electricity is free. Okay, think about all the things that we've been missing. People are prepared to keep hiding things from us unless we pay attention. So let's beware of spiritual poverty. Hey, tarot cards, thanks a lot for playing along with me today. That was a lot of fun. Kind of profound in my mind anyway. Let me shuffle these, and then I know everyone knows, if you've been tuning in to STARCARD, that I read the chat after the show. I can't read it right now. There's so much going on, but for sure, I definitely enjoy what I see in the chat. So I want to thank everyone for participating. I'm going to get out a piece of paper and get ready to write down who wants a chat, or sorry, who wants a tarot reading. Remember, if you're using the top fans button at the top, that helps me skim through all the other messages in the chat. Okay, so, well, yeah. Since I dressed up on the top part, those are my pajama bottoms down there. So since I dressed up, you know, I'll let you look at my tie while I'm making notes here. And where's my computer mouse? One moment. There. All right, so, wow, Puck Elf's in the house. All right, Puck Elf, I see you got number 2. Hello, Puck Elf. Thanks again. Hi, Sally Forth. I see you're also here this morning. Sally, I did check the chat last time, and I saw that perhaps you sent me an email at starcardpodcast@gmail.com. I'm so sorry. I'm wondering why I'm not getting any emails. So I wonder if I typed the wrong email address or something in my website or in my description. Anyways, for anyone who's trying to reach me, I wouldn't mind if anyone would just send me a test email right now, just so I could check it after the show and see what's going on. Okay, so I got to scroll up now and check out, because if Pug Elf's number 2, there has to be a number 1. Oh, there's number 1. Oh, Julia Anchorhaven's in the house. All right, hi, Julia. We got you down for number 1. I am not seeing, oh, I do see a number 3. Hey, it's me again is here. Hi, it's me again. I'm going to write down your name. Okay, I see 3 readings so far. Well, good morning, Arizona Raven. Thanks for joining me again. Okay, I see I got 3. And yeah, okay, Julia, great. I got my eye on the chat. So if you want to drop in a special request, Julia, you could do that. Otherwise, I'll go down to the tarot cam and start throwing cards for you, okay? Okay, here I go. All right. So first up, it's going to be Julia. Oh, that is fascinating, Julia. Julia writes that she did a new video today about targeting and clones. Those are 2 topics that fascinate me. I encourage everyone to see Julia's health and wellness program. You need to look up the handle Anchorhaven, ANCHORHAVEN. You'd have no problem finding her podcast. It's really wonderful. I was honored to be a guest on that show. So here we go. A general reading, please. Yeah, thank you, Julia. Thank you so much. All right. So this is a general reading for Julia. These cards are for Julia, please. By the way, Julia Anchorhaven did email me, and I did receive her email months after I was supposed to get it, only because I wasn't looking in the right spots. So I'm doing the best I can. There's a lot to keep track of. It's not like I've done 2,000 shows like Rob Khalil, right? I think I'm only up to something like 40 or 50 videos. Okay. These cards are for Julia. Julia has a couple of 100 videos at her site. Was it like more than 500 maybe? If she doesn't have 500 already, she will soon. These cards are for Julia. Thanks for giving Julia a good message at the beginning of the work week. It's probably the end of the day for her up there. Up there in the UK. These cards are for Julia. These cards are for Julia. I'm hearing, in my mind, Julia, I was going to say, you know, you're out in the UK, and I'm starting to sing the song Oklahoma, which goes, oh, Oklahoma, okay. Anyway, out in the UK, these cards are for Julia. Everything's okay for Julia. Okay, let's check in. Yeah, let's give her a dessert card. Here we go. That's for dessert. All right, first up, it's the Wheel of Fortune, Destiny, Fate, cycles of energy, ups and downs, turning point, unpredictable. When we say unpredictable, that sounds like fun. Wow, unpredictable, and the Lover's card has shown up. For everyone's benefit, I'll read what's on the card, but I think the Lover's card may have a different meaning this time around, but let's take a look. The Lovers, love, harmony, relationships, union, partnerships, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of 2 together. So when I present the Lover's card, or when the Lover's card reveals itself, to me, it means the spirit world is right here, and the spirit world loves you, loves us very much. And like, you know, the spirit world is saying, this is your message. We're giving you a message. We're here to deliver it. Okay, here we go. It's like an announcement. I don't know if they're saying it's a fortunate message or a message related to your destiny. Nevertheless, 2 cards in the major arcana. Woo! All right, powerful message. Here it comes. 7 of Wands, a challenge, but kind of like Bruce Lee. You have the higher ground. You could take on all these guys. I should have went with a British actor, right? Jason Statham. You know, you got 12 guys versus Jason Statham. All those guys are going to lose. Okay. I'll read what it says. So is it a challenge? Yes. Competition, protection, perseverance, defense, maintaining control. Next. Wow. The 10 of Cups, dreams come true. Divine love, harmony. Here's, by the way, divine love again. Okay, divine love, love from the divine. Okay. 10 of Cups, divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family contentment, total love and support. I keep hearing alignment. I keep hearing the words alignment and defending your position. Hey, next, well, and if it's alignment, it could have something to do with destiny. Okay, Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. I know I probably mentioned this with Julia before. You know, she's sharing her wealth. She's sharing her experiences and bringing in the experiences of many, many, many others so that we can all be enlightened and learn from their stories. Wow. And the message is, keep going. You're doing a great job. You're managing. I'm pointing out the two sphinxes at the bottom, those two powerful, mystical, magical creatures. And Julia's sitting up behind them there, and she can control both. She can control the 3D world and manage it alongside, you know, the astral and the spiritual world. And she should keep on trucking. As I like to say, she needs to keep on going in this direction. Great. Let's close it off here. Closing message from the tarot world. Yeah, you're looking like the Queen of Cups to me, Julia. The Queen of Cups reads, compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring. And the Two of Wands says, you got a great plan, Julia, and the universe agrees that you have a great plan, and you have the right, and you should keep going. Keep going. Go for it. Here's your dessert card. Ka-ching! The 10 of Pentacles. It's all going to lead to wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. You know, maybe a few years ago, there weren't so many people on the internet interested in the topics that Julia presents. Nevertheless, she had to build up her library and share that part of her Akashic library in advance. So this way, as times roll forward, okay, people will be looking for Julia's podcast to get these messages. So I see some pentacles and dreams coming true here. So keep going, Julia. Good for you. Thank you. Next up, it's Puck Elf. All right. Yeah, right on, Julia. Thank you. Puck Elf, if you want to drop, yeah, thank you. It's me again. I appreciate that. Puck Elf, if you got, I don't know, something to write, I can focus on that. If you want to do one of your famed one-card readings, you know I love those. That's some real fireworks. Otherwise, if I don't see a message, Puck Elf, I'm just going to do a nice reading for you. I appreciate you inviting me to read all the time, Puck Elf. I really appreciate your friendship from way down under. Again, so grateful. Thanks for showing up and having fun in my chat with me. Thank you. These are for Puck Elf, my friend Puck Elf out in Australia. He's so creative. He's a great problem solver. He's extremely perceptive. And from what I can tell, he's extremely friendly. Everyone can be Puck Elf's friend. Everyone can. Right on, Puck Elf. Let's get you some cards. These cards are for Puck Elf. We have a fun, helpful message for Puck Elf, please. A fun, helpful message for Puck Elf. Thank you, Puck Elf. Whoa, okay. These are for Puck Elf. Our friend Puck Elf. These cards are for Puck Elf. That one came right out. These cards are for Puck Elf. For Puck Elf. Yeah, these two. Here we go. All right, Puck Elf. Let's have some fun. I'm going to try to make it entertaining and inspiring. I probably don't have to work too hard. All right. Oh, nice. Let's start off with the wishes come true card. It's the 9 of Cups. You're sitting pretty, Puck Elf. 9 of Cups, wish come true. Contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, gratitude. Ooh, the 7 of Wands showed up. It's a wish come true. Let's be grateful even for the challenges, which you can manage without any difficulty. I mean, I just know what I see in the messages you send in the chat, and I know that you're very clever on how you can repair things and help people out. And maybe it's a wish come true for everybody that you interact with, that you're so good at those things and you can help. Next up, the Knight of Swords. This reminds me of Puck Elf. He's so energetic, this guy, moving fast. Like, Puck Elf does send some fast chats. Anyway, Knight of Swords, ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking, defending beliefs. These are adjectives about Puck Elf, I think. Okay. Ooh, let's have another knight. It's the Knight of Pentacles. This guy's taking his time, as opposed to this guy. But the Knight of Pentacles says hard work, productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, and responsibility. I think you know which horse to ride on at the right time. Next up, yeah. And then when you do, you make magic happen. It's the Ace of Wands. New project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. I'm having a good time so far, Puck Elf. All right, let's see the last sentence here. All right, I'm happy to see her show up again. It's the Empress. The Empress reads, abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, and action. New projects, growth, and evolution. Ooh, and the homecoming card, the 4 of Wands, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, homecoming. I want to thank you, Puck Elf, for allowing me to be part of your community and your world. Okay. Next up, ooh, it's the 4 of Cups. I'm going to read what it says on the card and see what's going on. The 4 of Cups, meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. Let's take a look at the reverse side here. It also says sudden awareness, choosing happiness. Oh yeah, I'm glad I turned it over. So the 4 of Cups reversed, sudden awareness, choosing happiness, acceptance, retreat, withdrawal, checking in for realignment. So remember how you ride the correct horse at the right time, okay? That shows enlightenment in my mind. And it also shows, you're choosing happiness. You're choosing, which action or emotion is going to get you where you need to go to solve a problem. But nevertheless, let's get to this last card so we can see this last sentence better. Oh, the 2 of Wands showed up again. The 2 of Wands is you got the green light, go. You got good plans. The universe has got your back. So I would say, you're probably in a position, Puck Elf, where you're showing gratitude. There's a little bit of luxury involved. We talked about luxury up here in our first card. We can be grateful for what we have, and we can celebrate every day, with the ones around us. I know everybody goes through life every day and we feel like something's missing. However, when we turn this 4 of Cups upside down, is something missing, or do we now have a sudden awareness of something new? Is something missing, or can we choose happiness and find something to be grateful for? And then, I don't know what your plans are, Puck Elf, but I like your plans. I'm giving you the green light, go. Keep up doing what you're doing, dude. Thank you very much for inviting me to read, Puck Elf. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, I see you got some messages, Puck Elf. I'm going to read them after the show. I want to make sure I read every word. I want to miss one thing that you say. But I do appreciate you, and I appreciate you inviting me to read. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. There we go. Thanks, Puck Elf. All right. So the third one on my list is It's Me Again. And I want to say that's my third one. And if there's anyone else who wants a reading, I encourage you to use the top fans button or drop something in the chat. Okay, thank you, Sally Forth. I just spotted your message. I will check after the show. I appreciate your time, Sally Forth. I'm sorry about the problems. All right, it's me again. Oh, yeah, I need to read this. Yeah. Hey, it's me again. Thank you very much for that helpful comment. I appreciate your help. We're all a team here. We have to help each other out. All right. And unless it's me again, you have something specific you'd like me to throw cards about, I'll just go ahead and give you a general reading. So up at the top, where it's, at the top of the chat, on the left side, it says top chat. And then on the right side, there's the 3 dots. And then there's a button next to it on my computer. It says top fans. I've never used it before, but I believe that's what people are using to get the attention of the host while they're in the chat. Yeah, right on, it's me again. Okay, so let's throw some cards for It's Me Again. I'm closing my eyes now and inviting the tarot world to send us another fun, helpful message for It's Me Again. These are for It's Me Again. We have a very, I just want to say, we have a very educated group tuning into STARCARD podcast. People are well versed in the ways of the spirit world, and in a way, I'm kind of new to all this. Remember, I only started doing tarot in March. So anyway, these cards are for It's Me Again. Please give us a helpful, fun message for It's Me Again. These cards are for It's Me Again. It's me again. These cards are for It's Me Again. It's me again. These cards are for It's Me Again. Yeah, I think this card wanted to come out too. All right, it's me again. Here we go. Yep, thank you very much. It's me again. I see your message. I appreciate that. All right, and I'm hoping that these cards can send you a helpful message. First up, Ace of Pentacles is pretty nice. Ace of Pentacles, abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, prosperity. There's an auspicious start. Next up, all right, Page of Pentacles, an announcement, more of the same. Manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence. So I'm hearing about an opportunity, and this card's encouraging us to work at it, or certainly to pay attention to it. Take a look at that opportunity. That's my take. Let's see what the second sentence says. Ooh, this is a great day for all of us when the Four of Wands keeps showing up like this. It's the Four of Wands. It's the homecoming card. Whoops. And the homecoming card, Four of Wands, reads, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, and homecoming. Next up, the Two of Swords. It indicates a crossroads, right? There's a choice. You have all the tools you need to make a good decision, but you don't have all the information yet, as indicated by the woman who is still blindfolded. Ooh. And then the Moon card shows up, which indicates the subconscious. And it says, the Moon, illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, and premonitions. You have this opportunity that you can develop, and it's going to be easy to come home and recognize it and celebrate it. But once that opportunity has presented itself, maybe there'll be a decision that you have to make, and you're going to have to trust your intuition. I'm just trying to tell a good story here. These cards might mean something more to you. Okay, the Five of Wands shows up, telling us that there's some kind of conflict, a win at all cost situation or energy. Maybe not from you, but someone around you. All right, and yay, we love the Queen of Cups showing up. The Queen of Cups talks about compassion and comfort and calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive. I'm hearing intuitive again. It's a challenge to explore your intuition, but you can experience the fruits of your labor if you keep working at it. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles, fruits of your labor, rewards, luxury, self-sufficiency, financial independence. So this is my own personal experience. I decided to take on tarot because it was getting expensive hiring psychics. I felt like I should be able to do this on my own. I'm still hiring psychics. Nevertheless, maybe a lot less, right? So yeah, exploring your intuition can be a challenge. You're perfectly intuitive to make the best of it, and you will see the fruits of your labor. Come on, Tarot World, give us a good one. And it's going to be a lot of work, or it's the end of a lot of work. Anyway, I hope that message was inspirational and helpful for you. It's me again. I really appreciate you inviting me to read. Thank you very much for coming to the program. It's so great. And I want to say thank you again to all the subscribers. Again, you guys keep me motivated to come out. Okay, I'm not seeing any number 4 or any other requests. I do see Flix Love. Hello, Flix Love. Thanks for coming to the show. I don't think I see any more requests. So if that's the case, you guys always help me out. Yeah, hey. You guys always help me out, get the show done in about an hour. It's the best hour of my day coming out and throwing cards for you guys. So thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you all have a good day. Let's go to that line again, Ray. As you go through your day, don't forget to look up in the sky so you can see your star. My name's Breakaway Ray. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.